guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl CrysMarie. I know the lighting here kind of sucks. Ooh, that's better. Yeah, my coffee is currently next to you, my Keurig machine. So in this episode, we are going to be making fried ice cream. This is very time consuming. I'm gonna try my best to make sure it's a short video and cut it short. There's multiple ways of making this. Again, this is how I make it. The baby's crying and the Keurig machine is loud. As I was saying, I know there's multiple different ways of making fried ice cream, but this is how I make it. I'm also going to be leaving down below the exact ingredients I'm using, the amount. I won't leave amount because this is pretty much how you want to make it, size wise. And this recipe is not that hard to make. The hard part is frying it and not letting it melt. I will put down below as well as saying this right now. You do not have to fry it the way I'm frying it. I've tried both ways come out perfect, but I do prefer with this recipe a deep fryer. You guys know I just moved, hence the echo, and I don't have a deep fryer. So if any of you guys would love to send me a deep fryer, comment down below and I'll give you my address or PO box or whatever. But so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started with this video. Thank you to everyone who's been reaching out to me, seeing if I'm okay. Yes, I am okay. And some days are better than others. I'm just dealing with it. My husband is fine. So, but yeah, he's doing good, and we try to make the best of it. So without further ado, you guys know the drill. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead, give this video a big thumbs up, and let's begin. Yeah, that wasn't smart. I just burned the shit out of my tongue. Alright guys, so let's begin with the star of the show, and that is ice cream. So you can pretty much use whatever ice cream you care to use. I do highly recommend cookies and cream. It's so good. Now when it comes to bread, I do recommend white bread. This bread gave me a little bit complications, but it still worked. And of course, pancake mix, because that's what we use for the fried Oreos. Now when it comes to the batter, I did add some cinnamon to it. You can add pumpkin spice, you can add whatever you want, you could add nothing. This was just fairly optional. You want something to roll out the bread with. I have a rolling pin. You can use literally a can of beans. It's totally fine. Now when it comes to the wax paper, you don't necessarily need wax paper or parchment. It doesn't matter, but wax paper works good for me. So you want to take a piece of wax paper out, and we're going to take out some of that ice cream. Now because I have 3 flavors, I am definitely going to take one of each, but you can totally take as little, as big, as small as you want. Do pay attention to the size of ice cream you make because it will determine on the slices of bread you do need. Now you can see here, I start to take out the chocolate ice cream and they're like clumps. That is perfectly fine because we are going to form them with our hands later on, so it does not matter. But you do want to be careful when it comes to picking the ice cream not to get a soft ice cream like Breyers. You want to stay with harder ice cream that you know you can maneuver. This will be going back in the freezer eventually, but just on the safe side, you guys. That vanilla ice cream was really hard to get out. I was like struggling. But again, if you try this recipe, definitely do the cookies and cream. Oh, that's the first one I tried when I first made this, and it was so bomb. So yeah, we're just separating the ice cream, making the clumps. We're going to be rolling this out again, like I said. And now this is where it comes in handy. You can get some gloves, guys. I don't have any more of my kitchen gloves from moving. So I used 2 little snack bags from Dollar Tree. And I thought they were bigger. They were so tiny. But this is what I'm doing. I'm just mounding the ice cream, forming it together, making sure all the clumps are gone and everything is smooth on the surface, making it as round as possible. And that is it. And I wanted to go ahead and do it all 3. You do get melting done. Now this step is very important. You can use a plate, you can use anything you want, but you need something sturdy. And we're going to go ahead, add that wax paper again, and we need to transfer that ice cream over to a clean sheet of wax paper so that way that melted ice cream won't freeze on those perfectly formed balls that you made. So when you do put in the freezer, guys, I do recommend to let these bad boys freeze for a good 2 to 3 hours. Like I said in the beginning of this video, this is very time consuming, and if you have the time to make it, is well worth it. This is also very crucial into freezing your ice cream. Make sure you put some plastic wrap on top, put in the freezer, and just forget about it. So once you get to like, I want to say 15 minutes, you want to go ahead and get your bread. Now, depending on the size you make, mine were fairly small. 2 pieces of bread would be for 1 ball if they were a little bigger. But because I did them on the smaller side, I did 1 piece of bread per ball. Now, this is why I said use white bread, and be careful with the bread that you do use, because as you can see, there's holes in my bread. So I'm going to the same method I use for my croissants, which you guys have not seen that video yet. And I'm just pushing down and rolling, being very careful not to break the bread any more than it already is broken. And you want to make sure you flatten the edges as well, and just roll as flat as you can get that bread. Now again, when this happens, when the bread is already holy like that, you want to stay away from it. But I will show you guys how I managed to use it, because, you know, we don't want to waste flat bread either. But if you can, I highly recommend, guys, white bread and bread that doesn't have this many holes. So right here, I'm just showing you guys how flat we need to get this. And that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and do the other one. And again, if it's a bigger ball than what I did, you want to make sure 2 pieces are for 1 ball. But you can see how small these are. So these have been sitting in the freezer for about 2 hours, I believe. So I'm going ahead and take them out. You can re-roll them if you wanted, but I'm just not going to, because I'm going to form them while they're in the bread. So when it comes to the bread, you want to fold them up, almost like envelopes. And you can see right here, it's not going to fit, right? But just you watch. We're going to go ahead and use our strength and squeeze that ball together, and the bread starts to form. Now you want to be careful with the tearing, because I already have some tearing on this bread in the front, but you just want to pinch it together like we did with the cinnamon rolls. Just pinch your mistakes, and I mean, it's bread, it doesn't really go back together, but we can try to make it work. Now when putting these back in the freezer, guys, you want to put the flaps down. That way they freeze closed, because if you do not, you will leak ice cream. Now when you put these in the freezer, you want to let these sit for another 2 to 3 hours as well. See, I pinched right there. Yeah, trying to do some patchwork. But you want to let these sit for 2 to 3 hours as well. You want the bread to form to and bind to that ice cream. Again, guys, you know, this can easily go wrong. This can melt bad. So now in another bowl, we're getting our mixture ready for the pancake mix. And we're just adding some of that pancake mix, which that's my favorite brand, by the way. It's so good. We're going to add some cinnamon. Again, this is optional. You can literally add whatever, or you don't have to add nothing. And then you want to give this a good mix. Now when it comes to this batter, you want to make sure all the clumps are out, so it's nothing like a little bit of elbow grease, to make sure that every bit of that mix is mixed. And here I'm just checking the consistency, because you want it on the thicker side. Almost the same consistency as the fried Oreos, but a little bit thicker. And I'm just checking it, because the last thing you want to do is have clumps that will create an air pocket, and then your ice cream will seep out. So here I'm using the middle burner, which I didn't realize I had until I made this video. And I'm putting it on medium to high heat. Now, I would highly suggest you put that on high heat. That was my mistake. And I'm just using a spoon and coating this. You want to coat this really, really good. Do not leave any areas uncoated. Now, once this is hot, you want to go ahead and put it in. Now, you can see right here, it wasn't as hot as I needed it to be. And you will see later on that I did make another one because this, I mean, it happens. It's okay. Like I said, it's still edible. And here we go, guys. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. You can add powdered sugar. You can add fruit. I just made it simple for you guys. You guys really need to try it. So, so, so good. But make sure that heat is really, really hot because you can see that little pocket right there. And that's a fried ice cream for you. Alright guys, so there you have it. Fried ice cream. Let's cut into this bad boy. I'm so excited. This is so, so, so yummy. So yeah, let's enjoy this bad boy. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, I hope you guys heard that crunch. Let me put it down. Look at this. Look at this. So good. Now you want to make sure the oil is really hot. I know you guys probably saw the oil was semi-hot. Make sure it's like really hot. We're going to go ahead and cut a little piece. I'm trying to cut this without being messy. Oh my god. You guys. I did horrible there, but this is so good. So good. You guys definitely have to try this. That was my mom in the background, sorry. But don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below what flavor ice cream you chose. You can choose whatever. Again, this is a very time-consuming process. I started this at 8 or 9 in the morning. It is currently going on 2. So don't be impatient because the end results are perfect. There are so many different ways of making fried ice cream. Again, this is horrible lighting. Again, this is how I do my fried ice cream. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give this video a thumbs up. Again, comment down below if you tried it out. And if you did and you had difficulties, do not worry, do not hesitate to message me on here or any of my social medias in any way, shape, or form that I can help you make this, because again, it is very trial and error. Oh, my bra showing. All right, guys, until next time, bye. So before I go, I know I just said bye, but I did the other ice cream ball and I just wanted to show you guys. Just make sure, oh, my fucking bra, guys, sorry. Technical difficulties, you know, whatever. Anyways, you want to make sure that the heat is high, like super high. Look at that. See that? This is what we're looking for, right there. So I just wanted to show you guys another snip of me eating, and then we can say goodbye again if I can focus. There we go. You hear that crunch? ASMR vibes. Hey guys, it's your girl CrysMarie, and today we're eating fried ice cream. So cold. Gabe, you're in my ASMR shot. Alright guys, but seriously, goodbye this time. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.